What a night for Liverpool. A hard-fought 2-1 win over Lille to secure a spot in the Champions League last 16, Mohamed Salah hinting at a potential new contract, and the big question, who could we face in the knockout stages? But here's the real kicker, is Salah staying? And what does this win mean for the rest of the season? Stick around, because I'm breaking it all down for you right now. You won't want to miss a second of this. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to keep up with all the latest on the Reds. Right, let's get into it. What a night at Anfield. Let's talk about Liverpool's solid 2-1 win against Lille, a victory that not only sends the Reds into the Champions League round of 16 but also locks in the top spot in the group. This was classic Liverpool, a mix of determination, grit, and a bit of that Anfield magic. It all started with Mohamed Salah, who else, right? The man is just unstoppable in moments like these. He opened the scoring with a clinical finish after a brilliant piece of counter-attacking football. It was set in motion by Kostas Tsimikas, with Curtis Jones threading a perfect ball to Salah, who slotted it home like it was the easiest thing in the world. And he nearly grabbed another before half-time, showcasing the kind of form that makes you glad he's wearing Liverpool red. The second half had its twists, though. Lille went down to 10 men after Asa Mandi picked up a second yellow for taking down Luis Diaz, who was darting behind the defense like a man possessed. At that point, you'd think it was all over, right? Not quite. Lille found a way to equalize, with Jonathan David pouncing on a defensive lapse to make things interesting. For a moment, you could feel the tension creep into the air. But then Harvey Elliott stepped up. Sure, his goal came with a hefty deflection, but that doesn't take away from the shift he put in. The lad was everywhere, pulling Lille's backline apart with his movement and finally sealing the win with that low strike. Harvey is proving to be a game-changer, showing Slot that he's not just a prospect for the future, he's ready to make an impact right now. Now, thanks to this result, and Barcelona losing to Benfica, Liverpool can head into the final group game against PSV with nothing to prove. It's a chance to rotate the squad, rest the big names, and let some of the fringe players step up. It's the luxury you get when you dominate your group like this. And let's not forget about the defense. Yes, there was a blip with David's goal, but overall, this was another solid showing. Lille only managed one shot on target all night, and the team's collective effort at the back broke a European club record for minutes without conceding. That's the kind of form that breeds confidence going into the knockout stages. So, what's next? We've got momentum, we've got depth, and we've got the world watching. This Liverpool side is starting to click into gear, and you can't help but feel that something special is brewing. Alright, the next news is about the big talking point swirling around Anfield right now, Mohamed Salah. After yet another stellar performance, the King of Egypt is giving us all something to talk about. You saw it, didn't you? Salah was instrumental in the win over Lille, scoring his 50th European goal for Liverpool. That's right, 50. And yet, the question everyone's asking is, will he stay beyond this season? His contract is set to expire, and as of now, there's no clear word on whether an extension is coming. But here's the thing. When asked about the possibility of doubling that European tally for Liverpool, Salah didn't exactly slam the door shut. His response? I'm not sure about that, but I'll give it my best. Now, call me optimistic, but that doesn't sound like someone who's itching to leave, does it? Sure, it's not a signed contract, but it's something. And you know what? After all he's done for this club, you've got to think there's still a chance we'll see him in red beyond this season. Let's not forget, this is the same Mohamed Salah who has bagged 233 goals in just 380 games for Liverpool. Think about that for a second. That's a level of consistency most forwards can only dream of. He's been a driving force behind every major trophy we've lifted in recent years, the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and not one, but two Carabao Cups. And this season? He's still absolutely flying. 22 goals and 17 assists in just 30 games. At 32, Salah isn't slowing down, his proving age is just a number. The only question is whether Liverpool are ready to commit to a long-term deal for a player who turns 33 in June. It's a tricky situation. On one hand, he's still delivering at the highest level, scoring goals that not only win games but make history. On the other, clubs are always looking ahead, thinking about the future. But honestly, can you imagine Liverpool without Salah? I know I can't. He's not just a player, he's a legend, one of the greatest to ever wear the shirt. And let's talk numbers for a moment. Salah scored 45 of his 50 European goals for Liverpool in the Champions League, 5 more came in the Europa League. He's in elite company, one of the top scorers in European history. Names like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Robert Lewandowski are on that list, and Salah's not far behind. He's a player who thrives on the biggest stage, and he's done it time and time again for Liverpool. So here's where we stand. Salah's future might be up in the air, but what isn't in doubt is his contribution to this club. Whatever happens, we owe him nothing but gratitude for the memories he's given us. But I'll say this, I'm not ready for those memories to stop. And if you're with me, let the club know. Mo Salah belongs at Liverpool. All right, here's the deal, Liverpool has done it again. With that gritty 2-1 win over Lille at Anfield, the Reds have booked their place in the Champions League last 16. Now, I know what you're thinking, does this mean we've clinched the top spot? Not yet, but let me walk you through why it's still looking good for us. So, here's where we stand. Barcelona's wild last-minute 5-4 win over Benfica means we'll need at least a point in our final group game against PSV Eindhoven to officially lock in that top position. But let's be real, with the way the lads are playing right now, you've got to feel confident about their chances. Now, here's a bit of trivia for you, Liverpool is one of the Elite 8 teams guaranteed to skip those pesky knockout playoffs. That's right, while other teams are scrambling to secure their spot, we've already punched our ticket to the business end of the tournament. And you know what that means? Anfield is going to be rocking for the second leg of the last 16 tie. Imagine those European nights, pure magic. Now, let's talk logistics. The draw for the last 16 is happening on February 21st. Yeah, it feels like ages away, doesn't it? That's because the group phase wraps up on January 29th, and then you've got the knockout playoffs in early February to decide who joins the top 8. A bit of a wait, sure, but it's all part of the drama. As for who we might face, it's still wide open. Only Barcelona and Liverpool are locked in so far, with 24 teams still fighting for those coveted spots. And here's a twist, no more country protection in the draw. That means we could potentially face Arsenal, Aston Villa, or even Man City. Bring it on, I say. Whoever it is, they'll have to deal with a second leg at Anfield, and we all know what that means. Now, mark these dates on your calendar. The last 16 fixtures are set for March 4th and 5th and 11/12, so there's plenty of time to get hyped. And if you're dreaming of the big one, the final in Munich, that's going down on May 31st. Let's hope we're there, lifting that iconic trophy once again. So, there you have it, Liverpool is well and truly in the mix, and the path to European glory is starting to take shape. If you're as excited as I am, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Up the Reds, and I'll catch you soon. You'll never walk alone.